There was a time when Japan was the least known for powerful, sport-oriented machines, as economical and bulletproof mass-market movers were its forte. Fast forward some years, and Japanese cruiser motorcycles, along with other offerings such as sports bikes, entered the American market as practical, cheap, and easy-to-ride alternatives to the usual domestic models in the market. To no one's surprise, they quickly started competing with local brands in terms of performance. In fact, these cruisers from the Asian continent were so intrusive to domestic manufacturers' sales, especially Harley-Davidson, that the U.S. government started imposing import taxes on international manufacturers crossing 700 cc. To beat this barrier, Japanese manufacturers started launching cruisers just slightly below 700 cc by making slight changes to the bore or stroke length. And these motorcycles were famously known as tariff busters. Although this list is not solely about those kinds of motorcycles, we just wanted to illustrate the sheer impact of Japanese manufacturers on the American market and its consumers. This list, meanwhile, is about Japan's most powerful and potent cruiser offerings ever witnessed by all of us. The best part? That none of these bikes will put a hole in your pocket when you go out and get one for yourself. Here are the 10 fastest Japanese cruiser motorcycles for speed junkies. Number 10, Honda Fury. Honda is not a brand you'd see associated with choppers, but the Fury defies convention in this regard. This factory-built chopper has classic long forks, an aggressive design, and a reputation for reliability and utility. It is a distinctive combination in the specialized world of choppers, providing a comfortable riding posture, the greatest displacement V-twin engine on a Honda cruiser, and contemporary amenities. A simply stunning chrome-laden and stretched-out chopper that exudes custom vibes. The Fury was Honda's noteworthy attempt at providing a cruiser offering that was not too generic, yet appealing to consumers looking for a cruiser that was beyond the ordinary. With its hulking 312cc V-twin, the Fury is adequately powerful, offering torque-laden performance and decent reliability. Although not the most powerful on this list, its sheer design and feel warrant a place here. Here's the performance specifications and pros and cons of Honda Fury. Number 9, Yamaha Bolt Rspec. With that generic name, you might wonder how the Bolt Rspec is different from a regular cruiser. Well, Yamaha calls it a performance bobber topped with sport heritage styling. With its single-seat, lightweight, and torquey engine, the Bolt Rspec comes with the bare essentials to make it comparable to, or slightly better than, a traditional Sportster. Not to forget the belt drive system that makes maintenance a breeze. Its 942cc V-twin engine, which generates 65 horsepower and 59.3 pound-feet of torque, enables it to reach a maximum speed of 106 mph. In addition, the Bolt Rspec has a wide range of customization choices that lets you personalize it as per your whims. Once upon a time, the Rspec version was being offered alongside the standard model. But since 2021, it's only the Rspec that Yamaha sells. Here's the performance specifications and pros and cons of Yamaha Bolt Rspec. Number 8, Suzuki Boulevard M109R BOS. One of the best-looking Japanese cruisers ever? Perhaps so. The Suzuki Boulevard M109R oozes power, style, and authority with its long and sweeping stance. The headlight, shroud, and radiator casings are also especially well integrated to follow the overall silhouette of the bike. To complement the larger-than-life looks, the engine is a humongous 1,383cc DOHC over-square 54-degree V-twin that can rev high as well as pull a truckload with an available 118 pound-feet on tap. The bike is the epitome of a distinctive vintage aesthetic, combining cutting-edge technology and exceptional performance. It has an aggressive posture and a smooth, controlled ride thanks to quality underpinnings. With a broad and well-cushioned seat, the low slug design makes for pleasant, extended rides. Oh, and you get an optional tail cowl for a sleeker appearance. Here's the performance specifications and pros and cons of Suzuki Boulevard M109R BOS. Number 7, Kawasaki Vulcan S. With its affordable pricing, simple maintenance schedule, comfortable ride, accessible and usable power, and great retro-modern cruiser styling, the Vulcan S represents Kawasaki's most practical Vulcan offering to date. Except for maybe the 1990s Vulcan 500, which had a similar configuration and belt drive. Launched initially in 2015, it has been continually refined and honed, offering customized ergonomics via Kawasaki's ErgoFit and a distinguished suspension setup. However, it's chain-driven unlike other traditional cruisers, and traction control is not available even as an option. We're guessing it is to make the price all that more competitive. Then there is the Vulcan S Cafe, which starts at $8,499 and is perfect for those who desire a cafe racer style. All things considered, the Vulcan S is a multi-purpose motorcycle that caters to a wide range of riders, particularly those looking for an easy-to-handle, sleek, and comfortable entry-level cruiser. Here's the performance specifications and pros and cons of Kawasaki Vulcan S. Number 6. Yamaha Star Raider 1900s. The XT 1900 was basically a simpler and more steeply raked SX1 1900A with bigger tires and a simpler profile overall. With its massively torquey engine, utmost care had to be taken with the accelerator, as it was prone to break traction quite easily with minimal throttle inputs. Similar to the Intruder, the XT 1900 exuded a traditional but certainly captivating style, and some Yamaha performance bits like the X-Up power valve were included in the XT 1900's package. The Raider's forks are scraped out to give it a true chopper appearance, and its unusually sized tires, 120/70/21 up front and 210/40/18 at the back, improve control. These tires were the biggest and tallest that a Star motorcycle ever had. Belt drive was also featured as standard, enhancing this big cruiser's easy riding appeal. Here's the performance specifications and pros and cons of Yamaha Star Raider 1900s. Number 5. Kawasaki ZL900 Eliminator. After the launch of the groundbreaking Kawasaki GPZ 900R, the ZL900 Eliminator was launched in 1985, with a short production run of just 2 years. This makes it one of the few proper inline 4-powered cruiser motorcycles on the market, and it was certainly powerful enough to woo you, with thrust coming from the liquid-cooled, slightly retuned ZX900 motor. It was also equipped with drag-style handlebars, a chopped rear fender, and a shaft drive. This bike marked the inception of bigger Eliminators to come, with a 1000cc version joining the lineup a few years later. With its large rear tire, widest of every mass-produced motorcycle at the time, bobbed rear fender, small fuel tank, low bars, and lightning-fast acceleration, the ZL900 was miles ahead of its heavyweight rivals, the Suzuki Madura and Yamaha VMAX. If you find one today, it is among the fastest cruisers to own with its tractor-like torque and cool, laid-back styling. That is, if you don't want the current iteration from Kawa that comes in a smaller version. Here's the performance specifications and pros and cons of Kawasaki ZL900 Eliminator. Number 4. Kawasaki Vulcan 2000. When it comes to generous amounts of sheer displacement for a motorcycle, few can match the Vulcan 2000. Even to this day. In fact, its engine's actual displacement was bigger than what was mentioned in its name, packing 2,053cc. With 103 horsepower and an incredible 130.5 pound-feet of torque, this engine was capable of producing the most power and torque figures in Kawa's Vulcan history back in the day. It fulfills every need for what a classic cruiser ought to be, a massive beast of an engine, a chromed-out, low-slung body, and a big wheelbase. With its beefy 49mm front forks and 240mm rear tire, the Vulcan 2000 came equipped with supersized hardware to handle the monstrous powertrain. The one gripe that most owners have, though, is the sheer weight of this thing. But once it's on the move, it's truly appreciable for what it is. Here's the performance specifications and pros and cons of Kawasaki Vulcan 2000. Number 3. Honda Rebel 1100. The Rebel 1100 is a convincing package when it comes to reliability, flexibility of customization, aftermarket support, and, of course, performance. Powered by a retuned and remapped version of the 183cc parallel twin on the Africa Twin, the cruiser has an impressive power-to-weight ratio than a typical cruiser. This results in great overall performance without sacrificing fuel economy. Compared to the Fury, it's light years ahead in terms of tech and is available with a dual-clutch transmission for even more convenience. With its round lights, tiny fenders, and contoured fuel tank, the Honda Rebel keeps the traditional cruiser silhouette. It stands out from other typical American cruisers because of its aggressive posture and blacked-out elements. This is combined with contemporary technology like traction control, ride-by-wire throttle, and adjustable ride modes to provide a smooth, responsive, and safe ride. It comes in two different models, a $9,549 six-speed manual and an automatic dual-clutch transmission, DCT model that costs $10,149. Here's the performance specifications and pros and cons of Honda Rebel 1100. Number 2. Honda Magna V65 1100. A Japanese V4-powered shaft-driven cruiser from the 80s? While it does fit the description of the next member on our list quite well, the difference with this one was that the Magna V65's engine was derived from the VFR family, consequently employing tech from racing, specifically MotoGP. With such a combination of a high-tech power plant and cruiser ergonomics, it's a wonder why the Magna did not really enter the enthusiast's spotlight. A peak speed of 160 mph helped the V65 Magna get recognized by the Guinness Book of Records as the fastest production bike at that time. However, that was just a theoretical estimation because traction problems prevented it from going faster than 140 mph in real life. There was also a smaller offering, the V45, which was also a V4-engined Honda cruiser, but it's the V65 that has the right power and torque figures to make it compelling enough to be on this list. Here's the performance specifications and pros and cons of Honda Magna V65 1100. Before we moved on to our number 1 spot, be sure to like, subscribe, and share this video. And for our last spot, Yamaha VMAX. The Yamaha VMAX has been touted as being one of the most extreme production bikes designed for taking on drag racing. Fitted with a V4 liquid-cooled engine that pushed out sizable ponies, this bike may have been one of the first ever proper muscle bikes. There wasn't really anything like it out there, power-wise as well as design-wise. The original VMAX had a 0-60 mph time of 3:33 seconds. The second-gen model, released in 2009, managed to make a significant improvement. It made nearly 200 horses at the crank with a commendable 0-60 mph time of 2.5 seconds. The bike's design language leaned more towards sporty, but its low seat height of 30.5 inches and raised handlebars somewhat explain its cruiser identity. It included an exclusive Yamaha chip-controlled throttle and intake system to ensure all those ponies remained in your wrist's control. Despite the bike's discontinuation in 2020, nothing comparable has been released since. Here's the performance specifications and pros and cons of Yamaha VMAX. Thank you for watching.